a driver traveling at 15 meters per second in a 35 mile per hour zone exceeding the speed limit? Join me to understand it. Hi, welcome back to PhysiTopia. This is Fatima Sadat, and in this session, we're going to learn how to convert units. No matter you're just converting speed unit or area unit or even length unit, we can make it together and solve different examples in this session. So let's go! Okay, so here we are, and we're going to start learning converting unit by a simple example. But before everything, let's start by conversion factors. Conversion factors. So basically, there are different units that you should memorize. Maybe in the exam they give you, or also nobody gives you these conversion factors. So it's better that you memorize them before your exams. For example, everybody knows that in every meter we have 100 centimeters. Or I'm sure that you know every hour has 60 minutes. Or every minute has 60 seconds. Or if we want to convert American units to SI units are System International, or actually International System, it's in the French. So, for example, every mile is 1.6 kilometers. Every kilometers is 1,000 meters. And so on. There is a very long list that has all the conversion factors. But it's up to you to memorize which conversion factors. For example, meters, centimeters, hours, or I don't know, some volume units are important. So let's start by converting. Length units. So for length units, you have millimeter, centimeter, meter, kilometer, inch, foot, mile, and other units too. So if you want to convert, let's start first between, guys, we call this SI units, and they are American units. They are used in United States or Britain or their colonies actually. But this is the international system that is used in different countries. If I want to convert, for example, 3 meters to millimeters, first of all, I should know how many millimeters are there in 1 meters. So 1 meter is equal to how many millimeters, and then we can find out this part. First, it means that you should know your conversion factor. There are 2 ways, guys. I can say that in every meter, I just memorized it, okay? in every meters, I have 1,000 millimeters. So one way is you memorize it. It is the teacher's point. Another way is that you say, okay, I know that in every meter, I have 100 centimeters. Now, I know in every centimeters, I have 10 millimeters. So, I can say in every meters, I have keep 100 and instead of centimeter, put 10 millimeters. I can say in every meter, I have 1,000 millimeters. It is another way. In this way, for example, in SI units, you just can memorize one conversion factor. For example, kilometer to meter, for example, and just convert by yourself others. Don't memorize it. Or even, for example, for time, it's enough you just memorize hour to minute and meter to second. So you can easily find hour to second too. It's the same in all kind of examples. So I know that. Let's come back to our example. I want to know in 3 meters I have how many millimeters. So you know that in every meter there are 1,000 millimeters. So I can say in 3 meters I have 1,000 millimeters times 3. So I have 3,000 millimeters. Let me give you another example. Tell me how many, so another example, example 2. How many minutes do you have in 4.5 hours? Or, okay, how many seconds? How many seconds do you have in 4.5 hours? It's your homework. Do it and comment your answers. I will check your answers and reply them. Okay, the unit that we have discussed about in the previous part was just a simple unit. But also we have derived units. And now we're going to convert them. What are derived units? Units like area unit. Area unit. That is like square meter. Volume unit. That is like cubic meters. Or units like speed units. Meters per second. Or acceleration. That is meters per square seconds. And so on. They are called derived units because every unit includes a few other units. Here we have 2 meters. Here we have 3 meters. Here we have meters and second, meters and square seconds. So they are derived from the simple units. But now I'm just going to talk about the area, the conversion of area units. For example, I'm going to convert 1 square meter to square centimeters. What am I supposed to do, guys? the square meter? Tell me. Is it m times m? It is, isn't it? A square meter is m times m. So, recall the conversion factors and convert meter to centimeters. I told every 1 meters equal to 100 centimeters. So 1 squared meter is meters times meters, and every meters is equal to 100 centimeters. So for changing this to centimeter, I just substitute 100 centimeters instead of every meters. So it will be 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 zeros here, 10,000 squared centimeters. This is the answer. Or if I want to write it in power of 10, I can say it is 10 power 4 squared centimeter. Now look, I'm asking you change 4.8 squared centimeter to meters, square meters actually. I'm asking this question. So first, you are changing centimeter to meter, centimeter to meter. So you are supposed to say 1 centimeter is equal to how many meters? 0.01 meters. So the first step, when you are converting one unit to another, ignore the numerical part before the unit. Just focus on the unit. Here, I'm just converting squared centimeter to a squared meter. But a step before it is I say how many, or actually centimeter is equal to how many meters. 1 centimeter is equal to 0.01 meters. Now, look here, I can say squared centimeter is equal to centimeters, centimeters. Instead of every centimeter, I'm going to put 0.01 meter times 0.01 meters. And now, just pay attention, guys. If you're not good in decimal multiplication, look, I ignore the decimal. So what I have here is only 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So now it's the time to put the decimal. I say here I have 1, 2 digits after decimal, 1 and 2 digits after decimal, 2 and 2 are 4 digits. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I put the decimal. Meters times meters is meters square. So now we are on the half of the way. I know that every squared centimeter is equal to 0.0001 squared meter. And if I want to write it in, power of 10, I can say 10 power 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 digits after decimal, minus 4. So now it's asking for 0.8 squared meter is how many? 4.8 square centimeters is how many meters? I can say, look at this fraction I'm making. A squared centimeter column, a squared meters column. I can say every squared centimeter is equal to 10 power minus 4 squared meter. Now 4.8 square centimeters, is equal to how many square meters? So it's a cross multiplication, guys. 4.8 times 10 power minus 4, 4.8, 10 power minus 4, and 1 multiplied by question mark. So you can say 4.8 times 10 power minus 4 is equal to question mark. So actually, the number that you're looking for here is 4.8 times 10 power minus 4. I have a homework for you again. Answer this question. Tell me, every 3 cubic meters is equal to how many cubic centimeters? This is your question. Answer and put your answers in the comment part. Okay guys, there is only one more step left to be a converting unit expert. So, we have talked about the simple units like length, derived unit like area or volume. Now it's the time to talk about the units like speed. We use converting speed units a lot in this book or even in our daily life. Recall the question I've asked you at the beginning of this session. Imagine that your car is showing a speed in miles per hour, and you are driving in a state that, or in a country that using kilometer per hour unit. So you should know how to change them so we can understand that you're exceeding or not. So let's go. First of all, I'm going to start by converting 1 meter per second to, I'm going to know, let me just write it better. 1 meter per second is equal to how many kilometers per hour? So I can say that first, I write it down. The next step in such conversions that you have division or a kind of fraction in the unit is putting multiplication and making another fraction. So if your unit is something like that, a fraction, a division, the first step you put multiplication and also making a fraction. What am I going to do, guys? Pay attention. Guys, we have two kinds of method here. Okay, we have two kind of methods here. What is taught in different books like AP or Oxford or GCSE, different books. Okay, one and another is a shorter way. That is my point, and I tell you after explaining the first method. So anyway, you just want to change meters to kilometers. Instead of meters, you want kilometers. So in other words, I want to remove m, and instead of m, I want to put kilometers. So you know that if you have a division, a fraction, if you multiply two fractions by together, everything that is on the top can be removed by the numbers parameters that is at the bottom. I mean, if you have m here, m can be removed by this m. But don't forget that I'm not going to change my number. So I have to keep this fraction 1. M over s multiplied by 1 is always m over s, doesn't change. But if I just multiply it by m, everything is changed. So I want to make this fraction equal as 1. If I put m over m, it's worthless. I'm removing 1m, making, if I put m here, I'm removing 1m and making another m. So what am I supposed to do? Look at here, guys. I can say every meters, because 1 is, besides m, 1.001 kilometers. I am changing m to kilometers. So instead of another m at the top of this fraction, I put this value, 0.001 kilometers. Let me just make my line bigger. Kilometers. So yeah, this fraction again is equal to 1 because this value is equal to m over m will be 1. So m part is done. Now let's go to convert s part, seconds part. A fraction line, a multiplication sign, a fraction line again. S is down, so I have put another S up. So the same process. If I put S here, I'm just removing one S, making one S. It doesn't make sense. And I have to keep this fraction equal to 1. So I have to, instead of putting 1 second, I have to put its hour value. You know that every 1 second is equal to 1 over 3,600 hours. Hours will be up. So instead of putting second down, I put 1 over 3,600 hours. So let's do it. It's really amazing to remove. This goes by this. S goes by S. And what do I have here right now? Is I have 1 here. I have 0.001 kilometers up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 over 3,600 hours here. So instead of this fraction, actually, I can write instead of 1 over 3,600 hours, I can write 3,600 over hours. So let me just rewrite this. 1 multiplied by everything is everything. So I just ignore 1. And top I have 0.001 kilometer. I keep it, ignore 1. times, instead of this fraction, I have this equal to, so just a multiplication. Guys, if you forgot how to multiply decimals, it's enough that in decimal multiplication, ignore the decimal part. Here you have 1 times 3,600. It's enough to count the digits after decimal and put your decimals here. So 1, 2, 3 digits you have. Here, no decimal. I count it. 1, 2, 3. Okay. What you have? Kilometers here and hours down. So every meter per second here is equal to 3.6 kilometers per hour. So, but just solve another example, guys, by my point. A simpler and shorter way. Imagine that I am changing 10 kilometers per hour to miles per hour. Instead of going all these steps, or even we can say mile per second, so you can see I'm just converting both units. Okay, mile per second. Keep 10. Instead of kilometers, write its mile value. You know that every kilometers equal to 1.6 miles. So instead of kilometers, I write 1 over 1.6 miles. Instead of hour, write its second value. You know that every hour is 3,600 seconds. (3,600 seconds). So 10 multiply far away. So far near. Times 3,600. Miles is up. Seconds down. Done. Just use a calculator to find out this answer and just multiply by 10. You can see it's really shorter and easier to calculate. So, guys, for you now you are a converting unit expert, and I'm sure that you can tell me if a satellite, okay, if a satellite can go 1,000 at the speed of 1,000 kilometers per day, find this speed in meters per second. Comment your answers. I will check them and I will answer you. This was a part of Chapter 1, AP Physics 1 and 2, Book 1. So if you like this video and if you think that it can help you, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and I'm looking forward checking your comments and answers. Have a nice time, guys. Bye bye.